of the white dot on his tongue that it's 2 milligrams of fentanyl, they'll say, oh, that's, reasonable, leading towards reasonable doubt, and it's that white dot on the tongue that killed George Floyd?
I do. I think that jurors are listening and they're curious. They know that there are certain things that are kept from their view purposefully by the court. And so I think that it is a defense attorney's job to try to get in that prejudicial and biased information. Because if a juror were to think, oh, well, this gentleman was actually under the influence of drugs, maybe he's a bad guy, maybe this is something that he does a lot, maybe he's in gang activity, then you're really getting towards that bias and taking away from the actual incidents that occurred. I think it was appropriate for the court to not let this evidence in because it's unfair to the victim. And this is a classic thing that happens in trials across the country where the victim's character becomes on trial when this evidence comes in. But one thing I think the prosecution needs to be very careful about is not opening the door to this issue in trial. And the court had made that warning today in the hearing when Judge Cahill mentioned that this door is open. If the state brings evidence that it's so ridiculous to assume that George Floyd ingested this fentanyl and then at the same appropriate time, instead of dying of asphyxiation, as the medical experts have put in their reports, and instead died of fentanyl, how ridiculous a claim that would be. Well, then I think that's the defense's chance to jump on this again and re-urge their motion. So I think while the prosecution might be very happy tonight, they need to proceed with caution in this case. And I would steer very clear away from the mentioning of the fentanyl.
So, Alman, how big is the issue of causation here?